What if the reason so many men struggle with relationships, emotion, and inner peace is that they've spent their entire life at war with a part of themselves they were never even told existed? Carl Jung believed every man carries within him what he called the anima, an inner feminine presence, and every woman carries an animus, an inner masculine, not metaphorically. He meant it as a real, distinct psychological force, and when you refuse to acknowledge it, it controls you in ways you'd never expect. Here's how Jung explained it. Throughout human evolution, men and women have lived together in close proximity for hundreds of thousands of years. Over time, Jung believed we actually internalize the opposite sex, not just culturally, but psychologically. A man carries millennia of experience with women, mother, sister, lover, adversary, all condensed into an inner psychological image. That image is the anima. The anima isn't your real mother or your ex. She's an archetype, a deep symbolic inner figure that represents emotion, intuition, creativity, relatedness, the irrational, the mysterious. For a woman, the animus represents her inner masculine, drive, logic, assertion, structure, the voice of authority. Jung said, these inner figures don't just sit quietly, they want expression. And if you deny them, they come out in distorted ways. Let me give you some real examples of what Jung meant. When a man is possessed by the anima, Jung's phrase, he might swing into moody, oversensitive, irrational behavior. He might become sulky, easily hurt, dramatic. He might project the anima onto real women, falling obsessively in love with someone not because of who they actually are, but because they remind him of this inner image. This is why some people say they fell in love in an instant. They saw their anima projection walking towards them. When a woman is possessed by the animus, she might become rigid, argumentative, dogmatic. She might suddenly be flooded with harsh inner criticism, a cold, hard voice telling her she's not good enough, not smart enough, not worthy. Jung called this the negative animus, and it's one of the most quietly destructive forces in female psychology. Sound familiar? The solution, Jung said, is not to fight these inner figures. It's to enter into dialogue with them, to relate to them consciously. For men, this means allowing yourself to feel, to be sensitive, to engage with creativity, art, dreams, beauty, not as weakness, but as a whole dimension of human experience that you've been locked out of. For women, it means developing a healthy inner masculine, one that supports rather than attacks. An inner voice that says, you are capable and strong, rather than you're not enough. Jung used a technique called active imagination for this, where you sit quietly and allow the inner figure to speak. You ask the anima or animus, what do you want from me? What part of me have I been ignoring? It sounds strange, but the reports of people who practice this are consistently the same. A sense of wholeness, of energy, of finally feeling like all of themselves rather than half. We live in a culture that rewards men for cutting off their inner feminine and rewards women for suppressing their inner masculine. And then we wonder why so many people feel incomplete. Jung was ahead of his time. He understood that wholeness isn't about becoming more of what culture tells you to be. It's about integrating every part of what you already are. Next video, we're going to cover the concept that ties all of this together, individuation. Jung's word for the process of becoming who you actually are, as opposed to who everyone told you to be. It's the most important journey you've probably never heard of,